Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to my world with Nat, Relocation Concierge. I hope you're having a great day. I'm excited because I reached out to you a long time ago about this, and finally I saw you, and I'm like, oh, we're going to make this happen. So today I have Isaac here, Trujillo from the Cabarete Language Institute, and he's also one of the founders of the European School. Right. So that's where we first met. That's where we first connected. We did a couple of videos together. Check out the channel for those if you want to know more about the European School here in the DR. If you have not liked any videos, please go and like them and subscribe to the channel to make sure that you get notified for the next episode that comes out. But today we are talking all things español.
En español, claro.
Español, sí. And that's because we are in the DR and so many people are arriving right now, and what we were talking about before is what the importance of, now we might jump all over the place, but the first thing that we've been talking about is pronunciation here in the DR, for the most part, is a little bit different than other parts of maybe the country or part of the world.
Yeah, there are many variants in the Spanish-speaking world.
So what are the variants here?
So here, the Dominican Spanish has this tendency of dropping the S of the words, the plural form at the end.
Okay.
So that's pretty common, and you have to get used to it. And there's also, there's pronunciation and there's accent on intonation, the way they pronounce the words. It's very important as well because that gives you a sentiment, that gives you context.
Because
the way you say the words.
The same sentence can be a question and a statement at the same.
Yes.
Depending on the intonation.
Yeah, of course, depending on the intonation. That's like the standard rule.
Yeah.
But when you say something in the Dominican way, it has a more of a, it has a different meaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you founded the Cabarete Language Institute in what year?
It was founded in 2007.
2007. And did you see a need? There was a need here that...
Yes. Well, actually, I'm not the founder. I just got hired and then I acquired it.
Oh, you acquired it.
I took over.
I'm sorry. But that's okay, but you're running it now.
Yes.
And the school caters to who mainly?
So mainly it's for, we used to do intensive Spanish per week. Yeah. And that's to foreigners. It would be more like a complementary activity to kiting and surfing.
Oh, okay.
So we sell packages and accommodation, kiting, surfing, and Spanish, also volunteering.
Nice.
But now it's more, I'm trying to tailor more the courses to locals moving here.
Okay.
And there are less tourists, this kind of intensive Spanish tourists.
Yeah.
It's more of people who are, moving here, settling down here, and
there's a few. Just saying.
Yes.
So, what are some of the things that, because what comes up in some of the videos is that people have said we have to adapt, and part of the adapting to a new country is learning a new language. What is the the base or the crash course of Spanish that we should have?
Well, yes, as I was saying earlier, there are a few things to consider, which you want to be able to communicate right away. So you need to learn the basics in terms of greetings, vocabulary, everyday vocabulary, everything that you deal with in your daily life, and you have to know this vocabulary. That's important here.
Yeah.
And also understand the pronunciation.
Yes.
Because a big part of the travel, let's say, it's not a travel, but part of it is adjusting your ear, let's say, getting used to the way they speak here.
Yeah.
They speak very fast. They drop letters.
They do.
Yes. So.
And I think what we were talking about before we started recording, so the first thing was dropping the S. That is something I noticed in where we first lived. The security guards dropped the S's on all the numbers. And I always thought that was I thought I was saying something wrong, but it's not that it's wrong. It's just that that's the way they pronounce it.
Yes, that's that's one of the characteristics of the, let's say, Dominican Spanish.
Okay.
So they would say vamos, vamos, instead
Yeah.
of vamos,
Yeah.
or do, tres. So very important, saludo. Saludo,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be saludos,
Okay.
greetings.
Greetings.
So, but when you enter a place, normally they don't say hola, buenas tardes. It's more like saludo, and then this intonation.
Yeah.
Saludo. You see?
Yeah.
Saludo. And then also I found very interesting, it's nice and appealing as well, is to say how are you,
Yes.
they would just say y tú. And you?
And you?
Uh-huh.
So you
But
have to
it's
know
not-
what you're
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, but it's not just y tú.
Yeah.
It has to come with the y tú. Y tú.
You too.
And then also in a formal context. I've seen it in the bank, for
Okay.
example. Y usted.
Oh yeah, that I've gone. Usted.
Y usted.
And you have to, and I think, well, they're talking to me, so I'm like, bueno, like I'm good.
Bien.
Yeah, bien, yeah.
Bien, y usted. You see?
Yeah.
So that's part of what you should get a hand of it. These
Is
little
everybody
things.
taking notes? Please take notes. We will drop in the description all of Isaac's contact information if you are looking for classes to perfect your particular your Dominican Spanish. Okay, so the S gets dropped. You just said bamo, which I thought was the V, but now I've just been corrected that there's no V sound.
Well, yeah, exactly. All Spanish speakers, we don't have the
So if there's somebody named Victor, what's his real name?
Victor.
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 Yes.
The guard here, his name is Victor. We've been calling him Victor for 3 months.
But we can't hear the difference.
Oh, you don't hear the difference?
No, we don't hear the difference.
Oh, okay.
For us, it's Victor, just like this. I speak other languages. I
Yes.
know in other languages you make the difference.
Yeah.
I can't tell now,
Yeah.
but it took quite some time for me to understand it in the
Yeah.
other languages. You see. So
Okay, so folks,
Fine.
let's just go back.
Okay.
No, we're dropping the S's. There's no V because it's a B sound, but it's probably answering a lot of questions. There was one more thing that we talked about. I just forgot. Saludo, that's a new one. I'm gonna have to use that one. Usted, I get a lot. What are some of the other common things that we should be adapting to or taking on, or that are appreciated maybe by a local?
that's a good question.
Do you think that they appreciate the willingness to try, or does it matter?
No, yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's they feel they appreciate when you try. That's pretty important for them. You get a laugh,
Yeah.
and laughing is always
Yeah.
it's always a good thing. In whatever
It's
context,
universal,
yeah, whatever the
universal,
context it is, and you'll get a laugh. It will be appreciated, and then you'll start bonding. You see, you'll
Yeah.
create a bond.
Absolutely. I know that with the lady that comes to our house to clean. She's been with us for almost 17 months, and I still have to take Google Translate out sometimes because though I can get my message across, there are some things that I just don't have it in my repertoire yet, and I really, out of respect, want her to understand what I'm saying, right? And so we wanted greetings, we want to have like common phrases that we want to, one thing I'd like to know the difference for you is, I say my name is, mi nombre es Natalie.
Sí.
When do you use llamo?
No, interchangeably.
It's interchangeable.
Yeah. You can say my
My
name
daughter
is.
said no. So it is interchangeable.
Sí, me llamo o mi nombre es.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Okay, folks, did you hear that? Make sure that you remember that one too. What are some of the methodologies for you that are important in learning the language? Because if you're coming here, and this is a question I get from a lot of people on discovery calls, is what about the language, Natalie? Do I need to, learn? People can definitely live here without having to speak Spanish. I think that is unfortunately the truth, but if you're going to adapt, you have to learn some. So do you have a methodology or something that
Well, I wish I could tell you there's a methodology.
Okay, fair.
But it's more dependent on everybody's learning style.
Okay.
So in my experience, I would say that everyone goes through the same process of learning.
Yeah.
The difference is how fast you go from one stage to the other.
Yeah.
So it really depends on everybody.
Okay.
Of course I can give an estimate or what you need
Yeah.
to do, different steps, but it's it depends on everybody's learning style and ability and the time that you can invest as well.
Absolutely. And would you say that listening to audio or visuals, is there one that, or is that again depends on your learning style?
It's definitely very good if you get a lot of inputs.
Yeah.
Different, you are exposed to different inputs.
Yeah.
Audio or video
Yeah.
or listening to a podcast in Spanish
Yes.
or something. The more you get, the more input you get, the more familiar your brain gets to the language.
I like to listen to the radio and pick up on the words. And for the longest time, I didn't understand what noventa cuatro was. I was like,
Okay.
what are they saying? Why are they? I thought he was saying 20, but he was saying 94. And finally realized and that's where for me it clicked for the numbers. And I think that for
Okay.
us, we speak French, and I feel like a lot of the French translates to Spanish. There's a lot of similarities.
Yes, of course.
So that's an advantage for us. And even though my daughter says no, 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 they're definitely, I think that she probably registers quicker because she's had some teaching in French
Yes, of course.
or language in
Yeah,
French.
there are two factors there. The
Yeah.
fact that she speaks more than one language,
Yeah.
so that would make it easier for the third one, no matter what language it is.
Okay.
And the second one is a Latin language. It comes from the same root. So
Same
of
root.
course, it's much easier to relate
Absolutely.
than English, for example.
Okay. So so people are coming down. We've seen a big influx of North Americans that are either coming short term, long term to relocate. Even some are just coming like snowbirds. How can they get in touch with you? So
Yes, they can go to my website.
yeah.
And on the website there's a WhatsApp link.
Perfect.
They
We'll
do
drop it.
Yeah.
We'll drop all the
Yes.
information there. Do you have any little words of wisdom or tips to impart with the audience that would, make that transition a little bit easier, maybe even before they come?
Okay, so yes, to be open-minded and to be willing to experience,
Yeah.
willing to do the exchange,
Yeah.
to the exchange of culture, and that would the exchange of culture
Yeah.
would mean exchange in language and learning. So
Oh, I love that. That's really good. Thank you for doing this with me today. I really appreciate it.
thank you very much.
So Isaac from the Cabarete Language Institute. Check out the comments for his contact info. If you're on your way here and you wanted some information, packages will be coming out. I'll drop those in there too, so you'll be able to contact him about that. Whatever you choose to do today, have an incredible day, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Isaac.